be your Democratic nominee for the mayor of New York City.
The leader in the vote count for New York City's Democratic primary election for mayor is State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani. He swept about 44% of the vote, but he did not earn more than 50% of the vote. New York City used a ranked choice method for voting for the first time and an outright winner.
At least 5 nonpartisan polls taken this month all find Trump's bill is deeply unpopular with the American people, which is not surprising. But Trump's allies in Congress are pushing ahead with it anyway, hoping that maybe no one will notice, no one will read the fine print, that they can just lie their way to getting people on board, I guess. I'm not even sure. But here was House Speaker Mike Johnson talking about the bill just today.
We want to make sure that we hold by our commitment that we are not cutting Medicaid. The president has said that, and I've said that.
We are not cutting Medicaid. That is, of course, not true at all. The bill Johnson and House Republicans passed last month would kick 16 million people off of their health insurance, including 7.8 million who currently rely on Medicaid, including many in his own state, his own district. There was some expectation after the bill passed the House that the Senate would somehow soften the legislation, minimize those cuts. But last week, the Senate released their version of the bill, which cuts even deeper into Medicaid than the House version. And that has sparked, understandably, some panic from many Republicans. NBC News reports that North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis is now warning members of his party that they will lose the midterm elections if they go through with their drastic Medicaid cuts. He has even been circulating this document, showing how much money would be cut from Medicaid programs in red states. I don't know what I love more about this document, that it is a very clear, simple breakdown of the impact of the big, ugly bill on Medicaid cuts on multiple swing states, physically printed out like an old school flyer, bless his heart, or that it was printed and distributed by one of the more vulnerable Republican senators. That doesn't tell you something about this bill. I don't really know what does. Now, at the same time, a group of 16 House Republicans are now circulating a letter to party leaders warning that the Senate's even deeper cuts to Medicaid are a bridge too far. Again, these are Republicans freaking out about the Medicaid cuts in their own bill at the exact same time that Republican leadership is telling us all that there will be no cuts to Medicaid at all. On camera, House Speaker. They seem to have learned from Donald Trump that if they repeat a lie over and over again, people will believe them. That's what they think. It's the kind of the playbook, I guess, that has kind of sort of worked for Trump in the past. It's not working for him now. Definitely doesn't work for his lackeys like Mike Johnson.
Everyone. So there's a lot of concern this so-called big, beautiful bill that was approved by the House and is now before the Senate will kick millions of families and children off Medicaid and food stamps and raise our debt by an estimated $3.7 trillion over the next 10 years. But here's something else very important you need to know. Buried in Section 70302 of this big, beautiful bill is a provision that will make it extremely difficult for federal judges to hold any government employee in contempt of court. This means if a government employee like President Donald Trump were to ignore a federal ruling, the judiciary could not force that person to comply by holding them in contempt. According to the Campaign Legal Center, quote, the new rule would be so broad that it could allow any government actor to escape being held accountable for violating court rulings. When asked about this provision at a recent town hall, Congressman Mike Flood of Nebraska had this to say.
This provision was unknown to me when I voted for the bill.
Federal courts have ruled 170 times against the Trump administration. If this bill is passed, which includes this provision, it will put all of those decisions at risk.
So the MAGA dumbasses are so fucking stupid, they believe that scientists, scholars, historians, economists, and journalists have devoted their entire lives to deceiving them, while simultaneously believing a failed reality TV star with decades of fraud and exhaustively documented lying is their only beacon of truth and honesty. Do they not see how fucking stupid that is? It makes no fucking sense. Fucking idiots.
He said he will target and punish those who disagree with him or refuse to bend to his will. He calls these Americans the enemy within and says that he would use the American American military to go after American citizens. Journalists whose stories he doesn't like. Nonpartisan election officials who refuse to cheat by finding a few extra votes for him. Judges who insist on following the law instead of following him. It is for reasons like these that General Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Donald Trump's top general, has called Trump, and I quote, fascist to the core.
Say, I'm against arresting any of the most prominent elected officials in this country. But if you're going to elect a prominent elected official, start with the one with 34 felony convictions. I think there's some difference of opinion here as to what Trump is trying to distract us from. But it's clear that that's what he's doing, and he can create so much inflammation in Los Angeles and then say, oh, well, now there's a riot that I've created. I think what he's trying to distract us from is the most embarrassing big bromance blowout in history, but more importantly, the biggest amount of corruption since the privatization of the Soviet Union. The $400 million plane, the $300 million from Chinese interests into Trump coin, and the $2 billion from Abu Dhabi into his Trump stablecoin. That we shouldn't be having this press conference here. We should be having charts showing you the levels of corruption that we've seen in the Trump administration. But Trump thinks he can win by tearing down the city of Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone. This is Donald J. Trump. I became president for one important reason: money. I love money. And now there are more ways to bribe me than ever before. You can buy my meme coin, or Melania's, or these two idiots, or my NFTs, or stock in my media company, or a condo in my new tower, or join Don Jr.'s club, or my club, or pay me for a frivolous lawsuit, or donate free legal work, or give me a free luxury jet. And today, I'm thrilled to announce the fastest and easiest way to bribe me ever. Introducing the Presidential Access to Your Money Exchange. Pay me. We'll have Elon link your bank account directly to beautiful Mar-a-Lago. Don't worry, he's got all the passwords. You want a strip mine in a nature preserve? Pay me. You want grant money for cancer research? You. Pay me. You want to keep Greenland? Suck it, Denmark. Next time, pay me. Look, we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. I have nukes and dementia, so stop around and just pay me.
Payment may violate the Constitution. Absolutely no refund. Bribes may not result in favor.
Give me cash, just give me money.
I rise to announce that at this moment in time, I have filed H-Res 537 because I believe that the President of the United States has committed an impeachable act. Mr. Speaker, I take no delight in what I'm doing. I do this because I love my country. I do this because I understand that the Constitution is going to be meaningful or it will be meaningless. I do it because I understand that the President of the United States of America has a duty to consult Congress before taking this country to war. I do it because no one person should have the power to take over 300 million people to war without consulting with the Congress of the United States of America. I do this because if I do not, this authoritarian president that we currently have will continue to assume power. Later today, I will bring these articles of impeachment to the floor, and I will call for a vote. I believe that the hour of decision is upon us, and we all have to decide. Are we going to go down and choose the path of democracy, or we allow ourselves to choose the low road of autocracy?
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
All right. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Let me see if am I going through? Am I coming through okay? Test. I guess you guys can hear me. My iPad. There we go. I don't know. Hopefully we're not getting glitching problems. I know everything's been kind of slow, running kind of slow today. So it might be one of those days. But anyhow, welcome to the Trucker John live stream. Thanks everyone for being here. It's 11:29 a.m. Pacific time. We are at, I think, 93 degrees already. Supposed to get a high of 99. And then it's going to be triple digits after today. We might even hit triple digits today. And it's going to be that way for the foreseeable future. All right, guys, thanks for being here. I see Sandy Foltz first in the chat in the driver's lounge. Thanks, Sandy, for being here. We got Jolie here. Fancy came in and started eating everything. Yeah, started coming in and was going through all the cupboards and eating all my little Debbies. But hey, that's what they're here for. So if you want one, go ahead and grab one. But yeah, Fancy's here. Yeah, putting her feet up on the table, making herself at home. AM's here. Hey, AM, good to see you. Let's see, I'm scrolling down here. We got Damon Dog, the big dog. Thanks, Damon, for being here. Appreciate you. Josh is here. Says, hey, loungers, I got to do some stuff. We'll be listening. That's fine. Work and lurk. Or do stuff and lurk. That doesn't have the same rhyme to it. Work and lurk, my friend. Fancy says, where's Nick Rich? With someone who has so many clocks, he hasn't been on time lately. Maybe Nick is just doing other stuff. Mad Mac is here. Hey, Slava Ukraini. It's Mad Mac. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on in to the lounge. We've only got 13 watching, 17 thumbs up. But we are at a thumbs up surplus. Roxanne's here. Roxanne Epstein. It says restart and it stops glitching. Hope there isn't too much glitching going on. I don't like glitching. There's Nick Rich, like number 8. Good day, trucklers. Hey, Nick, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Let's get some folks in here, and we can just go at it. We can have at it, man. Let's see. AM, hit the thumbs up button. I just did. That's good advice, AM. Everyone hit that thumbs up. Look at that. We got Fancy coming in with a $2 super chat. Fancy. Thank you, Fancy. Yippee! Goes out to Fancy. Thanks so much for that. Getting us started on the goal. Let's see. Damon Dog. Yeah, I said hi to Damon already. Sammy Carter. 1923 London 32. So I believe that might be 7:23 p.m. and 32 Celsius, I think. Yeah, Damon says Kamala was right about everything. Fantasy says that would make a great protest sign. I guess that was what she was referring to. Hillary was right. Kamala was right. Trucker John was right. Well, actually, I thought Kamala was going to win, so I wasn't right about everything. Maybe she did. Maybe she did. I don't know. So, in the opening, in the intro there with the clips I played, the one I guess I would address is Representative Al Green introducing articles of impeachment, and I just want to say I think that's really, really important. I kind of disagreed a little bit with Hal today. He was kind of going back and forth with the major. And I think the major is right that even if we're in the minority, and these things that we do, whether it's calling out, like Ojeda was talking about, this 22-year-old that Trump put in charge of, I don't even know what national security or whatever the fuck he's doing. That needs to be called out. Even if we don't have the numbers to subpoena the guy or do a call for hearings and stuff, I think it still should be called out. And that's kind of the same thing with Al Green, Representative Al Green, with the articles of impeachment. Even though it won't go anywhere, the Republicans aren't going to go along with it. Some others have done it. I think we need to just keep at it, man. We need to be out in front of the cameras, because otherwise people will go, the Democrats aren't doing anything. What are the Democrats doing? They're just not doing anything. And I do also get the tactic of let's just sit back and let the Republicans, hang themselves, let the Republicans destroy themselves, or with their ridiculous policies and these bills and everything. I get that to an extent, but we can't be totally silent. Otherwise, the general voting public will be, where are the Democrats? Or all they're hearing is one side. And then they think it's everything. They think that what they're hearing from the Republicans is just the way it is. And there's no opposing viewpoint. So we need to be out there front and center, I think, expressing our opposition to this authoritarian government that Trump is trying to put in. There's that, and the other thing was, congratulations to Zoran Mondani. By the end of this, I'll have his name down. He won the primary, the New York City mayor primary last night. He won. They still have to, with the ranked choice. He didn't get 50% of the vote, so that, they have to go through the rounds. The way to do it, I can't explain it. I've explained it before, but anyhow, they say it's probably going to take a week to do that. But everyone is saying that like Cuomo is not going to make up the difference, and it's a pretty sure thing. Okay, that Mondani has won that primary. So congratulations on that. I think that's great. I think it's a great sign. I think people. It shows me that at least in New York City, maybe the message is getting through. So I'm hopeful, and I'm glad. This guy is he's not your traditional Democrat. The Democratic establishment, they were completely behind Cuomo, and that kind of sickens me, because Cuomo was chased out, for being basically a predator, at the very least. And there was probably more to it, but there was sexual harassment going on in his office. The guy was, he's pretty disgusting, and so it's time for him to go away. And now for the Democratic Party to come back around and fully endorse him and back him, it's so short-sighted. It's so for one thing, I mean, it's hypocritical. If he wasn't good enough a few years ago, he's not good enough now. I mean, so Cuomo, look, dude, your time is done. You need to go away. I'm sure you're a rich dude. You're probably a millionaire. Go enjoy your money. Enjoy whatever time you have left on this planet. You don't need, get off your fucking power trip. You don't need to be fucking mayor anymore. You don't need to be involved in politics anymore. Go and live your life. You know, take that money, travel the world, whatever. You need to get out of politics, dude. Get off your fucking power trip. I'm so sick and tired of these politicians that are just on power trips. When it's time to go, go. There's no reason for you to be here anymore. So hopefully that will be the end of it. Now, in the general election coming up in the fall, the disgraced mayor Eric Adams, he's going to be running as an independent, I guess. And then Cuomo, they were saying that he might start a new party so that he can run again in the general, which I think is a weird kind of workaround loophole. I don't think that should even be allowed. But he's probably not going to do that. But if he does, he's not going to win. The Republican is Curtis Sliwa, the sleazy sleaze bag. He's a right-wing nut job. I don't think he's got a chance. So I'm pretty sure Zoran Mondani is going to win. So I think that's great, and it would be interesting to see how he goes and how he goes in his political career up the ladder. So anyhow, that's a great thing. I'm happy. Congratulations. In fact, I think I even had. Did I have a photo we could put up? Yeah, we got this. Congratulations to Zoran. I should put that up there so I could just always remember the name. Zoran Mondani. Congratulations. And there he is with AOC. AOC, she worked hard to get him in there. She was big. She was big in it. And also shout out, I don't know if Brooklyn. Brooklyn, where's Brooklyn? Are you here, Brooklyn? Yo, Brooklyn. Thank you, Brooklyn, for doing your part. We got Brooklyn over here. Here's kind of a breakdown of the voting.